Hello everybody, welcome back to Bandwagon Sports, and today I really want to talk about the Gerard Gallant signing for the New York Rangers. I mean, this is big news for the New York Rangers, and I believe Gerard Gallant, not Gerard, is a pretty big signing for the New York Rangers. I mean, he's a first degree kind of coach, like he's a 5-star coach, I would say. Led Vegas to the Stanley Cup Finals in their opening season, 2017-2018. He got fired after 2.5 years with the team. What I was reading up on him, the reason apparently was philosophical issues between him and the team. I don't know how much I buy that. I just think that they didn't want him there, so they fired him, and now he signed with the Rangers, who are going to be a real cup contender in the next, decade and a half. I mean, they just have such good NHL talent on their team that I really don't know how people are going to stop them. I mean, you can compare their prospect pool to like a modern day Tampa Bay Lightning with kind of how much players they're going to have up and down that lineup who are very good. Even Colorado, like Carolina, there's just like they're going to be the best of the best in the next few years, and I really do think that Gerard Gallant is going to be a big impact of that. I mean, he's, again, like I said, a first degree coach, a 5-star coach. Like, he is very, very, very good. He was very good in Florida when he was there. Columbus, maybe not so much, but yeah, he's definitely found himself, and he's definitely found a role he's comfortable in Vegas, and I believe he's going to do the same thing for the New York Rangers. So this really does leave a big question with who Seattle's going to go after and maybe who Buffalo's going to go after. And I think those are the two big teams who are really looking at coaches right now. You might go with the Montreal Canadiens looking for a coach, but I think that they're going to keep around Dominique Ducharme, especially after the playoff success. You have to keep around Ducharme as your head coach. But yeah, like there's definitely teams out there who are looking for a new head coach. Seattle is the biggest one. Buffalo, I would say, second. And with a guy like Gerard Gallant off the table, you really have to think, like, who are those teams going to go after? I mean, Columbus hasn't yet offered Rod Brind'Amour a contract, and, there could be something going on there, but I think Rod Brind'Amour is going to come back. But none of this is the point of today's video. This is just me getting off topic and really making another video out of a video, which I tend to do sometimes, but, yeah, I want to talk about how much this can really impact the Rangers in the future and how much it impacts them now. I'm going to say right at this very second, nothing changes. They're still out of the playoffs. They're still picking 16th overall in the 2021 NHL entry draft, and that decision doesn't really come up to the coach. Some teams, you maybe ask the coach on their opinion on players. I think they usually do, but overall the coach's decision is nothing. In really minuscule amounts in the overall thick of things. So, Gerard Gallant really not an immediate impact at all for the New York Rangers. Coming to the 21-22 season, I think the Rangers make the playoffs next year. Maybe even without Gerard Gallant as their coach, they make the playoffs. But I'm even more sure now with him as the coach. I think that he's really going to properly utilize their young players like Kakko and Chytil, even guys who might not be getting as much love from that Rangers organization like Brett Howden and I don't even know who else. Maybe Keandre Miller, who was very good this year. Adam Fox, I think, will continue to develop very nicely for them, and I really do think that, Gerard Gallant's going to be really good for a lot of the young players on the Rangers and their development, especially Kakko. Kakko has not really been impressive through his first 2 years, which is okay. I mean, young players do take time. He's still only 20 years old, so don't rush to conclusions. I'm not saying he's going to be a bust. I'm just saying I think under the current management, or not the current management, the past management and the past coach, David Quinn, I don't think he was succeeding under that system at all. And I really do think that a change of scenery for a lot of the young guys on the Rangers is really going to be beneficial to their development. And like I said, especially Kakko, especially Chytil, and again, maybe a wild card like Brett Howden and, similar guys like that. I was going to say Brendan Lemieux, but he's on the Jets now. But yeah, definitely a lot of guys who I think will benefit from this. coaching change definitely in the long term. In the short term, you may even see that too with a guy like Kakko really breaking out next year, 21-year-old season. That's usually the time you want to see a player start to really make their impact on the NHL and really show what they're going to be. And same with a guy like Chytil. He was drafted in 2017 or 2018. So next year's a big year for him. I believe he's 22 years old right now. If he's really not showing much signs of becoming a top 6 player by the age of 23 or 24, you really got to question your future with him. Brett Howden, a big year for him as well. He's a bit of a lower tier prospect, probably a guy who might fit into the middle 6 one day, but still a guy who under a new coach could really accelerate and could really prove himself and put himself in a middle 6 role on that New York Rangers team, even in the long term. So this coaching change could mean a whole lot to the Rangers, or it could mean a whole bunch of nothing. But I overall think that it's going to be the first option where Gerard Gallant really does help this team, and he really does help out the prospects, because really what my mind is thinking of is that whatever the hell the guy's name is, David Quinn, really was not focused on that prospect development as much as he should be. And you can't blame it all on a coach when a prospect doesn't develop. You also have to split that blame with the prospect. But with the guy as high pedigree as Kakko, I mean, you really expect a 60, 70 point score out of him at his peak, like a 30-goal guy as well, just a first-line all-star tier NHL player. And New Jersey Devils got that this year with Jack Hughes. He's really started to develop nicely for them. Excellent playmaking ability. He really showed it this year. And Kakko, we're just waiting for him to do the same. And he might not turn into that huge offensive dynamo that we think he will. I personally think that he kind of, explored a bit more of a two-way game. And if he becomes a 60-point two-way threat, that's awesome. That's a great player the Rangers grab right there. No hate there at all. But overall, I really do think Gerard Gallant is going to be a huge addition for the Rangers. Going to be very beneficial to their success next season, and maybe even 5 years down the line. I really do think that Gallant has found a long-term role here with a perfect squad, a team that's really not expecting the world out of him right away. But 5 years down the line, when when all those prospects develop, if they do, that's when you're really going to see an impact with Gerard Gallant, or if you're not going to see the impact of his signing. So that's all I have for you guys today. Just a really quick discussion of, what my expectations for him are, and, how he can kind of help the New York Rangers and especially their prospects. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Please consider I talk way too fast. Please consider subscribing and liking the video. It really means a lot. 131 subscribers right now. We're looking to go to 150, boys and girls. So thank you all for that. But thank you all so much for watching again, and I'll catch you in the next one. But for now, bye.